I really feel like that you have to give it to Ford for even attempting to go after the Jeep Wrangler. They've done a great job. I think it looks good. Is the two-door too stubby? Look how long the door is. That's what I've been looking at. The door and the length of the quarter panel. I'd give anything if I had a two-door Jeep here to examine. Anyway, the full-size Ford Bronco. It's been resurrected, you know. This is obviously a two-door. It obviously comes in a four-door. This has a hard top. You could also get a soft top if you would rather. This is a Big Bend. Let's start out the back because that's where we like to start. All right, first right off the rip, I love the little shock, the little strut right there. Sometimes you're parked on an incline, something like that. Some people aren't very strong. The little shock right there helps open it up. The hard top, you're gonna get this nifty, cool little thing. If you have a soft top, you're not gonna get the glass opening. This one right here is a used one, so it's got the door bags in there. We've got a little under the floor storage right there. Nothing crazy, but there is a little bit in there. This has aftermarket stereo right there. You've got a rear defroster in the back glass. Let's go ahead and close the door. Kind of give it that look right there as if we were riding through Sevierville, down Daytona Boulevard, Pacific Coast Highway 1. I will say this. I'm not real big on those luggage rack bars up there, but they do add a little bit, don't they? I think that would be a hindrance if you go to take that top off. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, let's keep on keeping on. All right, walking up the side of this two-door Ford Bronco. Okay. One of my first things that I'm going to talk about is the seats. Casey, look at that leather. Well, it's not really leather. Think Sea Ray, Bombardier, Sea-Doo, Four Winds, Cigarette, Baja. Vinyl seats is what I'm talking about. Marine grade vinyl seats. They're going to last for a really long time. It's got the old traditional jump style seat, just like you've seen before. We've got a little seating back there. Enough for two. Let's go ahead and see how much room we've got. Let's see if the Hobley can get in there. It's really not that bad in here. Once you get in here, there is the front dash. I have plenty of headroom right here. Shoulder room is good. Leg room, we can go ahead and pull that seat back, but I'm pretty sure we're going to have enough leg room as well. Now, granted, that seat is sitting fully erect, so I have plenty of leg room, but I think even if it was more back like that, I would have enough leg room as well. The way that I like to explain the Bronco interior as opposed to the Jeep's just not as nice as this. The new Jeeps have improved, I will give you that. But let's go ahead and move on up to the front so I can show you instead of just sitting here running that sucker. All right, let's finish up with the interior right here. I like the fact that we've got a little bit of the Jeep door. I said Jeep. I'm going to do that a couple times, and I apologize. See how we've got the metal from the Bronco door showing right there? I kind of like that little ruggedness, little off-road. I like it. Two-tone. Once again, it's all vinyl, so don't get real excited. It is a little squish-squish. Power door locks. There is automatic disconnect right there for your electrical cables and things right there you can see. So when you go to take your doors off, you can just pop that right off. All right, let's see here. How big is our glove box? Decent sized glove box. We've got, little puncture kit for the tire. I like that. That didn't come from the factory. That's just something that was left in here from the owner. Screen's decent. This right here, it's a little wobbly, and I don't really like that. But anyway, it is there, a little handle right there. There's your mirror controls, your power windows, power mirrors, goat modes, 4-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low. Go ahead and pop down in there. We got a little Coinstar tray right there, so you can go in there and get some more gas money. We got a 12-volt down in there as well. All right, now let's talk about these doors. Two things that Ford did that Jeep didn't do. One of them I like and one of them I don't like. Number one, the mirrors. Anybody that's ever owned a Jeep Wrangler knows that if you take your doors off, you are illegal. So you're going to have something mounted on your pillar right there, some kind of a mirror, so you can be legal. I do want to reiterate and say, I've never been pulled over by the police because of my door mirrors. So it could be something, it could not be, but Ford put it in with the cow panel right there, so we don't have to worry about that option right there. The second thing, on Wranglers, the hinges are exposed. They're on the outside. Whether you get a 2-door or a 4-door, you're going to have an exposed hinge on the top, an exposed hinge on the bottom. Ford did it a little bit different. They hid their hinges. It's still the same principle. You got one nut right there, and the nut holding the phone. We got another nut right down there, and it pulls off the doors just like the Jeep, but they're hidden. A little bit more of a finished look, not quite as rugged, I would say, or utilitarian maybe? Nah, that's not the right word. All right, this next part is where I feel like that the Bronco really steps ahead of the Jeep, and we're talking about what's underneath the hood. In Jeepville, you're going to have a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo, or you're going to have the naturally aspirated 3.6-liter V6, or you're going to get their hybrid. Ford has 3 engine choices. Hang on one second. We're going to have to prop this hood up. Hope you enjoyed that little view of the woods right there. This is the 2.3-liter turbo 4-cylinder EcoBoost. This is the same engine that you would find underneath the EcoBoost Mustang engine. In Bronco trim, you're about 270, 280 horsepower, roughly about 310 pound-feet of torque. You can also get the 2.7-liter V6, which is the base model, in the Ford F-150. That brings out about 315, 320 horsepower and about 400 pound-feet of torque. Or you can get the Bronco Raptor. And the Bronco Raptor is an entirely another animal, and that's what competes with the, oh goodness grief, what was I going to say? Competes with the TRX. The Bronco Raptor is going to have, no, it doesn't, it competes with the 392 Wrangler. I am so sorry for the TRX. Anyway, the 3-liter twin-turbo V6, the Explorer ST engine, also the Ranger Raptor engine that has roughly, I think, 415 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque in Bronco land. So anyway, power plants, it's easily Ford. It's not even close. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump inside. Let's finish this up. To me, if I could have the interior of the Ford Bronco and the exterior of a Jeep Wrangler, I would be totally happy. The interior in the Bronco, to me, is just, it's night and day better. It's just better. I love the fact that we've still got a little bit of the metal in there from the door, where the door panel doesn't exactly cover the entire door. I love seeing a little bit of that right there. The two-tone on the door panel, that's always great. We got two-tone interior all the way through gray and black. Remember, those are marine grade vinyl seats. That's not leather. This one has the rubber floor. We're not going to pull up those mats, but it has the rubber floor so you could hose this thing out. This one right here, to me, the lower the options you can get, except for the four-wheel drive stuff, the better. Less electronics when you're going to go mudding and bahaing and snorkeling and all that stuff. Less electronics is a good thing. All right, let's get in here and start the old Bronco. All right, inside, as you go up on trim levels, you're going to get more and more buttons. This one right here has the locking rear differential. That's that's the Jake brake thing. That locks the inside wheel so you can do a J turn faster. It's not really as cool as it seems, but it is a nifty little feature. Traction control and hazard lights, but as you keep going up in four-wheel drive status, you're going to get more and more buttons. This one does have a couple of aftermarket fog lamps up front, but those are your auxiliary switches. They're already pre-wired, so you just put the lights in. There we go. Remember we were talking about the difference in the hard top and the soft top? Hard tops are just like the Jeeps. There's not really any much difference. You're going to have your latches right there. There's latches in the front and the back. I do like the fact that you've got this one doesn't have it. Some of the higher trim levels, there is a USB-C up there, or a 12 volt, so you can plug in a dash camera or something like that. Gauges, very clear, very easy to see. Let's go through and see if we have any different screens that we can look at right there. Let's see, we're getting about 18 miles per gallon. There's your off-road screen, so you can show your trajectory, and when you're locking in the rear differential, it shows the power is going to the rear right now. We're doing 41 PSI all the way around. We're not putting out any boost pressure, 189 degrees. There's some more gauges. We're not going to read all that stuff, and then you can configure your own view right there. Also, here are your four-wheel drive and also your GOAT mode. So let's go ahead and play with that just a little bit. You've got normal right there. There's eco, sport, slippery when wet. Oh, we're going to go ahead and start putting in the four-wheel drive mud and ruts, sand, and that's the last. So now as we go back through, we're going to come out of four-wheel drive, mud and ruts, slippery. That's when we went into 4 high. Now we're going to disconnect and come out and go, yep. Now you're back into sport. So there are a few GOAT modes right there. This particular one, it looks like we don't have heated seats. Looks like we've got not even dual climate control up here. Oh, well. Let's look at our screen. The screen is a little bit smaller, but as you go up with trim levels, they get nicer and nicer and bigger. I said it at the beginning, and I'm going to say it again right now. The fact that Ford even went after the Jeep Wrangler is pretty cool. This is purpose-built. It's aimed directly at the Wrangler. Did they get everything right? I don't know. It does look good. It's very comfortable. It had plenty of power. This one had the 2.3 liter. So obviously with more and more displacement and more turbos and more cylinders, it's only going to get faster. Off-road, this is like a sledgehammer. The Jeep is like an antelope. This is just a rock crusher. It looks good though.